Hi, and welcome to a new series of videos on using a simulator to improve your ringing and that of your colleagues and people you're training. Now, I have a simulator in my garage and we're going to use that to put together some exercises and to look at specific parts of ringing that a simulator can really help you with. Now, first of all, I need to go through the equipment that I've got here. None of this is special apart from the actual dumbbell that I have up in the loft. I built that out of scrap that I had lying around, and there's some videos around on YouTube to the scrap challenge that I did a few months ago. Apart from that, if we look at the equipment, I have a standard laptop. It's a Windows 10 laptop, but for most of the simulator software that you have, Windows 8, Windows 7 or even Windows XP is quite adequate. It doesn't have to be the latest and greatest. However, I would say that because a lot of the modern software uses quite high resolution video, the better machine that you can use, the better the graphics and the smoothness will be. So I have a laptop. It is plugged into the mains all the time because it's old and the battery's not good. In the laptop I have a small external speaker, which just means that things are a bit better. I don't like wearing headphones and don't need to wear headphones in this environment where there's only me ringing. The sensor system, we use the Dumbbell wireless system. So I have a receiver here that is plugged into my laptop, and up in the loft there is a transmitter mounted onto the wheel, mounted onto the frame, which looks at a reflector on the wheel and then sends the signal down to here. And then, very importantly, I have a standard 3-pedal foot switch. These are very cheaply available through most online stores. I think this was about 22 or 23 pounds, but they are so useful when you're using the simulator yourself or when you're teaching somebody else, because obviously if you're ringing and you have to go and press a key, that's not particularly good. So that's the setup that I have here. The first of the exercises that I want to look at is simply ringing rounds and then doing a simple dodge. So what I've got, if you could imagine the scenario, I have a student who wants to improve their striking. Their dodging is not particularly good. They can ring rounds quite happily, but as soon as they start dodging, their striking is not as good as perhaps it could be. So what we're going to do is set up a very simple exercise very quickly. That means they're ringing rounds. I push the go button on the foot pedal, and it will then dodge with the bell next to it and then go straight back again. It will then go back into rounds, run rounds, press the button, next hand stroke, dodge, back again. And then we can look at doing double dodges and expanding that. But we'll do it right from the point of setting that up on the software. Now, I'm using Virtual Belfry. It's what I prefer. So we're going to actually go into Virtual Belfry and set it up as an exercise. So we're going to look at the notation. We're going to put the notation in, which is incredibly simple for this particular exercise. And then we're going to come and run that and show visually how that works with, ringing a bell, pushing the go button, doing the dodge. So that's the plan. So let's get started. Right, so we have Virtual Belfry here on the screen. In the centre we have our 6 ringers. We're looking to do this as doubles practice. And on the left hand side we have our controls. Now the important thing here is to, in the centre here at the moment, we are ringing plain bob doubles, but we're not going to look at an exercise, a method. We're looking at exercises. And so if we go to the exercises and look at the selection of doubles exercises, You can see that there are some already in here for us. This is a fairly standard installation. If we then look at minor methods, then there are some exercises in here that you can use, but we particularly want to set up our own so that you can see how the notation works in a very, very simple way. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at our exercise list, and here we have the ones that were in the list on the left here on the doubles list. So we want to make a new one, so we click the new button, and when we click the new button, this gives us a new doubles exercise and asks us first of all to give it a name. So we're going to call this one Dodge Now. So we're going to make Dodge Now doubles. So the notation for this is then put in the box below. Now if you're familiar with place notation, then you'll find it very simple to make the few changes that are necessary to write in Virtual Belfry. However, if you're new to it or you want to learn more about notation, then the help system has a very good section on notation on the exercise, and then actually the differences for place notation. So if you want to set up your own notation for any reason, then this is a great place to start. And of course, Doug Nichols, who wrote this program, he is exceptionally good at giving superb support. So if you're stuck on something very slightly, it's often worth getting hold of him on one of the Facebook groups or via email. And usually I think you'll find that Doug will help wherever he can. So what we're trying to do in our dodge exercise is simply to dodge with the bell next to us and then go back to rounds. Now if we look at the familiar features section, we can see here that changes where all pairs cross are indicated by a hyphen. So if we want to get all our bells to cross, which fundamentally is what we want to do as far as this exercise is concerned, because we might as well cross them all we have to do within our notation window is put in a hyphen. That is it. So if we now click OK, we'll see that our Dodge Now has appeared in the exercise list, and we can click Choose, which will then transfer that, and we've got Dodge Now doubles. Of course, we need to check that. So we've selected at the moment bell number 4. We could select 1 or 2 and do the same thing. Of course, because we are doubles, 6 is tenoring behind, and therefore 5 has got no one to swap with. So consequently, it will only be the first 4 bells that actually dodge when we click go. But if we click number 4 and select that one, click generate down at the bottom here, it will show us exactly what will happen. So when we call go, it will dodge back into the position of the 3, so in 3rd place, and then back to 4th place. And it will do that once, and then you'll literally continue back in rounds, or alternatively on the left hand side, if you select stand, then it will stand the bell as soon as it's finished. If you select bell number 3, you can see that that's going to dodge with the 4, and 2 and the treble will also dodge with each other. So we can then just check that that's what we expect to see. So if we select bell number 4 again, if we click start, and then we click go, which we'll do on the screen here.
Go next time.
So at the next hand stroke,
that's all. Stand.
Okay, so it did 1 dodge and then went back to rounds again. We can get it to stand.
Go next time. That's all. Stand.
Okay, so you can see there, very simple to create a single dodge. If we then want to double dodge, which we will do in a while on the simulator, then we can actually say keep going once, click, and if we click generate just to check, you can see then we're going to do a double dodge, and then again it will go back to rounds. So to show that in the ropes window,
Go next time. That's all. Stand.
okay, and of course you can take that right the way up to 50 dodges if you want, and that would be a quite long exercise, but might be good for concentration. So so there we have it. It's set up, ready to go. These are all saved within the system, but I would point out that if you do an upgrade on Virtual Belfry, you must save any exercises or methods that you've made. If you don't, they will be overwritten. I fell foul of that. I forgot myself a few weeks ago when I got the latest upgrade and lost a few of the bits and pieces that I'd set up in the past. So let's take this exercise and go and see what it looks like when we run it on the simulator. Right, so we're back now at the simulator. I've put in the dodge now notation and got it set up to do an exercise with just a single move, and if we now actually ring that as the 4. Okay, and I now set off the
Go
jog.
next time. That's all. Go next time. That's all. Go next time. That's all. Stand.
Okay, so you can see it's very simple using the foot switch to actually create a dodge whenever you want to. So if you had, for example, a learner who you were trying to ring really good striking on their rounds, you could actually give a reward of a dodge once they'd done it 2 or 3 times. It's something that I've used for those who are a little more competitive with themselves, and just getting them to do that means that they concentrate much more on the rounds. Now, to do double dodges, as we said, we just change the keep going to 1, and then we can do exactly the same thing again.
Go next time. That's all. Stand.
Okay, so there you have it. A very simple dodging exercise set up in a few minutes that I'm sure that you can use with those who want to improve their striking while dodging. If you have any comments, please feel free to add them below. If you want me to do any particular exercises or look at a particular issue that you have that you want to see how a simulator may help you, then please again drop me a comment and I'll see what I can do in the very near future. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.